What's up, you guys? It's Alex and
Jary here. And today we're going to talk to you about...
Are we keeping this?
Of course.
Oh my God.
And today we're going to talk to you about...
We're going to talk about being tired. And I'm super excited for this video because I feel like this can help a lot of people who feel pressure from just all the expectation life throws at us.
That's true. And we're going to start uploading on Sundays, guys. So if you're watching this on a Sunday, congratulations. Yeah. Smash that like button to begin with.
Yeah.
So tell them.
So we're going to break this podcast up into 5 segments. And just before you tune off, let me go through everything that you should stick around for. So number 1, why knowing about fatigue is something I am so excited to talk about. I'll share that with you. Number 2, what being tired tells us. Number 3, what may contribute to your fatigue physically. Number 4, what category does your fatigue fall into? And then lastly, we'll be talking about being tired of being tired and intentionally changing. All right, let's begin. Segment 1. Why knowing about fatigue is something I am so excited. We are so excited to talk about. With the pandemic, you definitely saw a lot of different fatigues everywhere. What I mean by this is fear, changes that was happening every single day and trying to keep up with all the changes every single day, not knowing what's next, the pressure from obstacles changing and you conforming to those changes. Maybe it was a sad one from losing somebody or somebody becoming sick and so many other things. And all those things, whether it was physically, emotionally, it added to fatigue, being tired.
Yeah, well, you see here, it's a very, very trending topic nowadays because, I feel many people are sick and tired of this whole situation, Not only COVID, just like staying home, people being grumpy, us living in the northern part of, the US. Snow gets to us a lot. We hate snow. I mean, I hate snow. You hate snow?
Yeah, kind of.
Snow sucks. So anyway, it's being tired. It's something that keeps coming up with everybody. And I feel like everybody felt it. Like if you felt tired before the pandemic, now you're like, it's just a catalyst that makes you feel it even more.
I feel like possibly like things are picking back up and people are going to be back out there, but it's still tired to like even catch up with the life that you missed out on. And now still the changes with now conforming to the life we used to know with these new changes and stuff. For me, it's like being in school too. And what like really triggered me to try to like convince you to do this topic is like that even students, like they're so tired because everything just jumped onto being remote. And now students have this immense pressure to read extra things, to comment on discussion board, to kind of take up the bulk of the schoolwork because you're not going to a classroom to learn from a professor regularly anymore. So it's different. And then it was just like so much work was thrown on students. So it's just...
Well, you see, there is something about the human nature. We just don't like to change our ways because I feel I noticed like before people were complaining about working from home. Now people are complaining about going back to the office. So it's something about this inertia that we don't want to change the status quo of things how they are. So like it's something about us that we don't like messing with. It's not necessarily what works, but what we feel comfortable with. So it goes back to, if you haven't seen that episode about comfort zones, this is a little bit tied up. So check it out. Somewhere up here. But yeah, like being tired and getting out of your comfort zone, sometimes they can overlap.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're going to talk about the first segment first, other than COVID.
So those two things. And then, so I just mentioned another one. I just really feel for students out there who feel the pressure from all these changes, and then just trying to, even mothers trying to like keep up with the changes of students, like in class, because we got immense amount of pressure put on us.
This is for the moms out there.
Like every other day was like an email. We're going to do things this way. No, it's going to be that way. No, it's going to be that way. Oh, I need this from you and I need that from you. And then just, if you have more than one kid, it's just so overwhelming. So it's just so tired. So
do you know what's funny? Even like you call customer support, and because people are working from home now, you hear background noises, people crying, like it's crazy. Like people bumping on other people.
Yeah,
it's tough. Like nobody was ready for this. You know?
It wasn't.
The office was an escape for people.
Yeah, it's so true. It's just, anyway, so we're here to talk about how to keep your body healthy, and how being tired isn't a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're a weak person. It's a sign that you need to slow down and change something and try to relieve that fatigue in healthy ways. I know that I just got inspired about something that my professor said in my seminar psychology class. He said that emotions are used as guides. They're guidances to what people should be feeling. They're not a bad thing. You just got to listen to them. So if I'm feeling tired, that's telling my body something. If I'm feeling angry, listen to those signs, step away from that situation. If I'm feeling stressed, that's telling your body something. So if we look at fatigue in the same way as an indicator of our body telling us something, we should try to change our circumstances.
100%. But now, guys, another thing is you got to be careful, because how we label things is how we experience them, So, like, I really feel like I can notice this on myself and others, where you start talking negatively and be like, oh, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, that, and you start creating this in your brain, like everything is huffing and puffing and it requires a lot of effort. You make it harder on yourself. So be careful saying I'm tired of you. Like when you're talking to people, I'm tired of this, there is biologically will get tired, but if you want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, the vocabulary you use and how you think of certain things is going to help you tremendously to have a positive outlook, So if you're saying like I'm tired of COVID every day, guess what? You're going to feel more tired because it's a loop,
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely helpful too.
So?
All right. So what happens when we are tired? Let's read the lesson.
Got it. What happens when we are tired? Okay, tell us.
So I'll do the first couple and then you can. So chronic tiredness or sleepiness, headaches, dizziness, sore or aching muscles, muscle weakness, slowed reflexes and responses, impaired decision making and judgment, moodiness such as irritability. You can read the rest.
Okay, well, you see, I want to make a comment. You say impaired decision making. You see, like, so for example, if you watch this and you're tired, you might forget to subscribe or smash that like button. So that's why you should make it easier on yourself. Like, okay, let me smash the like button first and then watch the video. That's going to help you tremendously, Yeah. So after that, appetite loss, reduced immune system function, blurry vision, short-term memory problems, poor concentration, hallucinations, reduced ability to pay attention to the situation at hand, low motivation.
Yes.
And you write here poor decision making, which is pretty much the same thing like what is said impaired decision. Yeah. And it is 100% true. It's funny because everything we choose to talk about, we don't like have a structure of like whatever, like one point lead to the next, but you see, decision making, it's just like what we're talking about successful people, how like they make the most important decisions first in the day, and they choose to wear the same clothes like Steve Jobs, so that you have to make one less decision. So these are all kind of tied up. There's a very thin thread connecting them. How you feel, how your body feels, balanced life, success, right?
Right.
So what else?
So let's get into segment 2, what being tired tells us. So let us say what, I believe society tells us that being tired is. And I feel like society links it to being weak, links it to being not strong. And I feel like it is perceived in such a negative way that people just get burnt out all the time because they feel like they have to constantly keep going and going and going. And of course, I feel like there's differences in every area of the United States, whether being slow paced or fast paced. Like I feel like the Northeast is definitely a fast paced area. Like everybody's on the go. What's next, and stuff like that. And I just feel like they don't give themselves credit to hear those fatigue signs and give their body a break.
So you see, here's the thing though, right? We as humans are amazing for a number of reasons, but in the corporate world, or if you're a business owner, you start developing this ability, if you do this long enough, to override your emotions, Like if you're a business owner, or if you have to show up at the office because you are a stock trader or whatever, you're tired or you're not, if you have to show up, you show up, If you're anxious or whatever, if you're a performer, you perform. The thing is, you have to be, again, a little bit careful this way too, because if you develop the ability to override your emotions, and many of us do, right? You start doing this again and again and again, and you burn yourself out subconsciously, So there is a certain time that you have to press the pause button, because then, this kind of anxiety like shows up in different ways of your life, It's you overriding your emotions, it's good. You get things done like this. But doing it long term and not giving yourself, like taking off the foot of the gas, like it can burn you out really, really bad,
Yeah, I feel like it just like you had mentioned though too, with saying, "Oh, I'm so tired. That's an emotional response too. So it's just that you can't overdo it and you can't underdo it.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
You have to be realistic with your body.
That's true.
And so it's not emotions that are the problem. It's how you're using them.
You see, but here another thing is, I love it. That's a good topic. Good job on choosing this. Another thing is this. There is going to be areas in your life and times in your life that you're going to have to suck it up and do the work, regardless how tired you are, okay? But this cannot be like years.
No, but that's the thing of this podcast is that you can still do your job and do it smartly. Like you can change your strategic way of working. Yeah. So that way you're not, like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it going life exhausted and burnt out that you can't even focus on a conversation with your kid or your spouse. Like at the end of your life, when you're sitting on your bed, you're going to be like, damn, I wish I was more present. I wish that I was physically more present there, because you're just so caught up and what's next? Like, I got to do that. And I know I'm guilty of it.
I know. It's funny because there is another guy in the personal development space. His name is Brandon Burchard or something like this. He was really hot at some point on YouTube too. He's writing a new book, I think. The name is Brandon Burchard or something like this. And he's like, he's big on, like, I don't know, I don't want to label him, but he's interesting. Check him out. But he was talking about how, like, we're never present anymore, that we're running around stressed out. You go to the grocery store and you're walking around stressed out for freaking groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nobody's fault but your own.
Yeah. And why? Like, who cares?
Like, I'm driving and stuff like that, and I get so anxious and stuff. And I'm like, like mad at the person in front of me. It's not their fault that I'm in a rush and I want to get to where I want to be. And I have so much on my to-do list that I am physically exhausted and aggravated. It's not their fault.
Like, if she's driving behind me and the closer she gets, the slower I drive, Yeah, this is a principle of mine.
Whatever.
Thank God we drive in the same car.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Are you ready to move on?
You're one of those, aren't you, huh? Okay.
Are you ready to move on?
I want to be with you for the rest of my life. I don't want to move on. Okay, what else?
So what may contribute to your fatigue physically? And this is the things that we searched up. We'll put the link in the description where we found this information. Really?
I want to do this.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you want to begin the list?
So the list is what may contribute to your fatigue physically. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 is actually it's not number, but anemia, low vitamin levels, thyroid issues, hormonal reasons, diabetes, excessive or lack of exercise, not enough sleep, poor diet, illness. Certain drugs can cause fatigue, medication, or even some stimulants. Definitely. This is definitely true. And, stay away from whatever pumps you up for a second and then drags you to the ground. There is many things like this.
Even he was saying he was feeling the effects of drinking too much energy drinks the other day.
Yeah, I got kind of an addiction there. Like, I got an issue. I won't lie. I got an issue. I like energy drinks a lot. I like the high and I hate the low.
But let's talk about the low so that way, we connect the dots here, how you shouldn't just honestly, that is also going to deceive you into telling your body that you are okay. Like nothing's wrong. Your body doesn't need rest because you're substituting it with freaking I thought he was drinking an energy drink. So I was gonna
the bubbles.
No, so your body can't hear those signs because
I know, but if you want to choose something
override it.
healthier, you can get a Kind bar right here, okay? And these are great, and we are sponsored by them, so have a link in the description. Do you eat those?
Yes.
They're delicious, aren't they? Okay, this is a peanut butter and dark chocolate, and tell them the ingredients here.
So again, because we said this before, so this one is we have more kinds upstairs. We'll bring it next time. But this one we shared with you guys last time. It's 52% nuts. It's gluten-free, low glycemic index. It's dairy-free, no genetically engineered ingredients, no sugar alcohols, very low sodium, 0 grams trans fat, and it's a good source of protein and a good source of fiber. So that's
Great.
really good.
So give this a go, guys. If you want, you can build your own. And I just saw on their website yesterday too. If you're a teacher, I think a student or a first responder, like a police officer or whatever, you guys get 15% off extra. So check the link. You can see this. There is a square there dedicated to you guys. Give it a go. They're healthy. They're a good snack. You don't have to be like me and drink like 10 Red Bulls every day.
All right. So
what
let's
else?
keep with the list. And this is now we talked about the physical factors of fatigue. I'm gonna say about the mental aspects of fatigue, which is stress, workplace environment, a heavy workload from school or work, family burdens and responsibilities. Yeah, you're gonna give me a.
Let me see what is that.
Clap. Okay. Responsibilities. Life pressures, grief, depression or anxiety, or any other mental illness. Too much problem solving, being angry, and crying more than you laugh and smile can all contribute to mental fatigue.
Man, and the thing is, like, I'm telling you, I cannot stress this enough, but even if it's proven, like you go out and find this, whatever it is that you have to find to prove it to yourself, if you smile and grin more, like as a person, you get to be more positive. Like if you, like, even the way that you use your face or your body, nothing else, if nothing else changes and two identical people, one is huffing and puffing every day and the other guy is like more smiley and pleasant, like he has a better experience in life.
Yeah, well, that ties into what you said earlier about the words that come out of your mouth, because
The way you think.
even if you do that, like you can kind of like gear your body into.
There is power in that. There is a lot of power in your thoughts.
Yep.
So, segment number 4. What categories does your fatigue fall into? What categories?
So ask yourself that. Ask yourself that because honestly, when you figure out which fatigue your fatigue falls into, it is easier for you to get rest in whatever way. We just read a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm pretty sure that that's not all of it. But if you ask yourself, why am I so tired? What is keeping me from really being present? What is keeping me from like being so uptight all the time? Like, if you can find that, like anything in life, it's easier for you to try and solve.
I know.
Because you know where it's coming from.
I know. If you guys want a practical tip, for me, it's lists. I feel really, really, really comfortable, even if I don't use them all the time, having a pen in my pocket and like a piece of paper to write whatever comes to my mind, or my notes on my phone, but whatever. In order for me to clear my mind, I really need to put it somewhere out there so I don't forget stuff.
Yeah.
So writing it down, having something handy next to you, making a list.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. This is what prevents me from being present 90% of the time. I have so many things here and they get so cluttered. I don't know what to do first sometimes. So I put it down and then I try to the best of my ability, enjoy the moment. Sometimes I don't do it, just like we're humans, we won't. But I'm telling you, you gotta be control of your life. You are in the driver's seat of your life. You cannot let circumstances and other people's priorities stress you out all the time,
Yeah. And also you can experience fatigue from both ways. You can experience fatigue from a physical aspect or a mental aspect, and a lot, it's probably more than from one area in multiple things. Like it could be a whole bunch of different things, but you have to pinpoint it so that way at least you can begin trying to solve that thing, so that way you can feel rested. It's kind of like our episode with what was it? I don't know if it was the short-term gratification versus the long-term gratification, and then kind of switching things so that way you're self-evaluating. You're self-evaluating where you lack, so that way you can make the choice to change things around and make a better decision.
So this pretty much covers every other video we made. So if you watch this, you know about everything else.
Not really.
I know. But if you haven't watched any of the other videos, go and watch them. Subscribe, by the way. If you haven't done that already, let us know in the comments what else you want us to talk about, and what else do you want to talk about.
Right now? Okay. So let's move on to segment 5. So, wow, we're already here. The last segment. Being tired of being tired and intentionally changing. So we just talked about what you should do to detect where your fatigue is coming from. Now you have to be intentional on changing it. Okay, because you can see, okay, my work is just like so overwhelming, or, I have diabetes. So, and then you're not intentional about changing your diet. You're not intentional about having more breaks at work, or meditating in some way, or relieving stress right after work or before work, whatever. You're not being intentional with changing. So use your fatigue as a way to tell your body what to change, so that way you're not tired anymore.
Yeah, that is true. Like, have an understanding of yourself, develop this, and goes back to having a connection with your body and brain, And here is another thing again, like your brain doesn't tell you what to do. You tell your brain what you want to happen. But this is a struggle for me as well, I guess for you too. So like, if you have to get things done, do them, but make sure you have a scheduled time. Like, she's great at this. I'm not. She has a scheduled time to chill. She's like, I'm closed, whatever. And I know you're going to talk about it soon. But she's so good at this, I cannot. I mean, it's the way life works. Sometimes they pull at you, but if she wants to chill, she's done with everybody.
The thing is that, of course, like, not everybody has the same schedule. And I know that there's some circumstances that you can't change. Like, you can't just up and quit a job that you're stuck in and that is like freaking stressing you out, or a class that you're in that you can't you can't drop out of because you need the grade or whatever it is, whatever the case may be, or, maybe grandparent issues or whatever it is. Like, of course, there's circumstances that you can't change. The point is how you're going to change yourself to uphold those circumstances in a healthy way.
That's good.
So, like, okay, he can't take like a day off like I can, because his schedule. Like, maybe he can find little breaks in his day, to help him. Or if he can't take a full day, maybe a half day, so it's just like looking at what's realistic for you and incorporating it. Maybe it's not even lying in bed watching TV, giving your brain a break. That is it for me. Maybe it's giving yourself time to walk every morning or read a book or pray
or work out.
Yeah. Or work out, which is big for him. Like, find what coping mechanism is best for you, because it's going to make such a big difference in giving you energy to take on whatever life has to throw at you in a present way that you're actually living,
And it's going to spill over to other areas of your life as well. Like, you get your workout done in the morning, then everything feels much better. Or like you pray, or like you're more mindful, everything feels much better.
Yeah.
You have the quote of the day.
Yes.
What is it? Tell us.
It's not a...
So
it's not a quote, but it's
tell us the quote.
It's a scripture now.
Okay.
So come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And that's Matthew 11:28-30. I understand everybody's not religious, but find some kind of spirituality that's going to give you release, something that you're going to surrender to, because the fact of the matter is you can't control life.
I mean, you got to be mindful, some people, they don't value God, or it's not in their context, but you got to be mindful of yourself. I think that's a big one for everybody. Know yourself,
Yeah. And surrender the stuff that you can't control, because you're not God. You're not somebody who controls every aspect of the world.
And you see, faith and God are two different things. You can still have faith. You might not believe in God, but you can have faith that things are going to work out. Have faith that you can figure it out. Have faith that you're bigger than your circumstances, So you can have faith that things will work out just fine.
Yeah. But it's more, though, releasing problems to somebody too. Not, because it's just like when you feel so much pressure, that adds to fatigue, because you feel like you have to take everything on and you can't stop, because you just have to keep going before you lose everything or something that you feel like is everything. And that's the biggest part for me anyways. It's like, you're not that big. So give yourself that ability to give your problems to something bigger than you.
And the thing is that if you feel tired, there is reasons for the emotions, okay? So there is a reason that you feel this way. So if you're able to pinpoint what is the cause of this, then you know how to eliminate it or work around it, like what she says. So if you look at your life and schedule closely, if you had the time, I hope you do. I need to do this more for myself. If you do this and you pinpoint, hey, you know what? At this time of the day, I always get a little bit itchy, or a little bit anxious, or a little bit worried, or a little bit tired, And you pinpoint what causes this: lack of preparation, lack of waking up earlier. I'm telling you about myself. Then you can start working around it. Now, is it easy? No, but it's the first step towards the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. This is so important. And I feel like this is so important because it's like your body is your temple. This is what's going to get you through life, literally. If you're not here, like if you either, get yourself worn down mentally or physically, you're not there. I don't care how it is. Like you're just not fully there. So it's just like, eat healthy, do something that you're going to release your mental stuff, release it in a healthy way. it's so important because it's just like, I made an analogy here in my notes somewhere. But it's like, okay, it's like your car, you know, and you need an oil change, you know, like you're not going to let your car burn out and break down its transmission, you know, the same way your body, you can't let it break down. You have to make sure that you're regularly putting your oil maintenance in there.
Yeah.
You know,
Before you cause irreparable damage. Yeah.
Exactly. So just make sure that you're always incorporating that. And of course, we need more brakes than a car's oil change. Like you need to make sure that you check in and you recharge your Tesla is what I said.
I saw that.
Like recharge your Tesla and gain your energy and just go at it. It's okay to be tired. It's okay. But do some self-care and make sure you recharge your battery and just get back at it. Like it doesn't mean you're weak. That means you're smart. It means that you're taking your life serious.
Yeah. And that you are in for the long term, you know. It's not, life is not like everybody says, like life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you should be in for the long term. Anything you do, if you ask me, should be in for the long term. If you do something for the short term, I guarantee you it won't pay out as well. You know, you gotta position yourself to play the long game. And here is the thing, man, like honest to God, life is not about just paying bills and fulfilling your to-do list, you know. It's not about that. It is, you should do that. And if you're an achiever, you already do that. You don't expect me or want me to say that. Like following your to-do and achieving and accomplishing things, it's amazing. It builds self-confidence. It does so many things to your brain that empower you. But life is so much more than this. What's the point if you cannot appreciate a smile or a sunset or a rose or a conversation like she says with your husband or your wife or your child?
Yeah.
You know, life is so much more than this. And we lose sight of this so often.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so good. And, you know, and like stress is just one part of what can cause fatigue. And we'll be doing a stress podcast soon, which is also very important. But
it's so funny because what you're saying about, I don't know about you guys, but like just saying the word stress causes me stress.
Yeah.
It's just the way you talk, it's unbelievable, like, you know.
But the thing is that sometimes just the start of it is just being tired.
I know.
You know, just being tired.
I know.
So that's why it's just so important to read those signs, like how fragile our bodies really are. You just don't know, like our brain, the cells within, you know, our whole body, our hormones levels, the organisms in our body. It's just, they're so fragile. Take care of them.
I know.
Take care of them. Your body, like I just mentioned, is the temple to live this life the best that we can.
It's funny because, and we're gonna wrap it up soon. We don't want to hold you here forever.
Yeah.
Although if you watched up until here, we love you so much. Smash that like button. We love you. We'll see you next time. But Tony Robbins, and I love quoting him. Like, I mean, he provides so much value, so I cannot. So he's like, actually, that's not from Tony Robbins. That is from Jim Rohn, which was a mentor of Tim Robbins. But he's like, you have to see things as they are so you can improve them, but not see them worse than they are. Okay. So if you see how things are and be like, hey, you know what? This is how it is. I didn't work out for the past month. Don't let it take over your entire life. Don't blame yourself too much, but see it as it is. Realize what's your circumstance. And another thing that he says, he's like, don't pretend if there is weeds in your garden, and garden meaning like your brain, like whatever, the way you think, you know. Don't think for a second that if you let them there and pretend they don't exist, they won't take your entire garden, because they will, you know. Because things creep in and you have to see them, go and address them, take them out, and then focus on growing your garden. But if you let them there, they're going to take out the entire garden.
I like that analogy.
Know? Yeah, because this is how it is. Like, the more you pretend things are not there, and you like, oh, I have a blind spot intentionally, the more it grows and grows and grows and becomes a monster you don't want to touch.
Yeah,
you know?
So true.
So yeah, address it when it's, kill the monster when it's little.
Yes,
and,
definitely.
Yeah, guys, like, I mean, we do this to inspire you. We do this, we learn through this with you. And we're enjoying it. I feel we found a good flow, huh?
Yeah. And we're going to keep doing it. Actually, we have different structure going on. Do you want to tell them?
Yeah. So because this week I'll post something before this video goes up. So I'll be posting more on this channel, other than my channel, more financial advice, maybe success advice a little bit too. We're going to do psychology together on the podcast. And if she wants, she can post something on her own too. And we'll keep having content for you. Some of this is going to be longer than this. Some of this is going to be shorter. We love you so much.
But you can always find us on Anchor too.
Yeah, the podcasts are going to be there. The shorter videos, will they be there?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the podcast version here will be up on Anchor. And by Anchor, we mean Anchor pushes this to everywhere else, but Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anyway, this was fun.
Yes.
We wanted to hold you here. We wish we could give you a virtual coffee. We can have coffee all together.
Follow us on social media.
I know. Find us on TikTok and the Beyond Average Show and Instagram. We love you so much.
Bye.
Grab your kind bars, smash like buttons, and before you forget, subscribe. Stay here with us. We are here, and we want you here too. We love you so much, and
see you in the next one.
You see, she's so rusty, guys.
See you in the next one.
Tell them again.
See you in the next one.
It's gonna be Sundays that we upload now. We love you so much, and we'll catch you on the next one.